Urgent, Commanders fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Commanders news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Commanders in excellent shape. After Cowboys, trade no division in football history has ever shown the need for a competent backup quarterback than the NFC East. The collection of the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants, and Washington. Commanders have won Super Bowls 3 separate times with a backup quarterback who did not start the season as the de facto QB1 on the roster. Depending on how you view the Cowboys' 1971 Super Bowl team, that number increases to 4. In short, backup quarterbacks are important in the division. It's why Washington is sitting pretty with their situation over any other signal caller in the division. Jayden Daniels is the face of the Commanders franchise. No one would question otherwise, especially after his historic rookie season. Washington also has a quality veteran backup in Marcus Mariota they can rely on should anything happen to Daniels. The same cannot be said for the rest of their division rivals. The Giants brought in an interception machine in Jameis Winston to be the backup to Russell Wilson. The Eagles traded away Kenny Pickett to promote former 6th-round pick Tanner McKee to the immediate backup role, and now the Cowboys have traded for former Patriots top backup Joe Milton. While Milton looked very strong in the preseason last year, there is no guarantee he can be as quality of a backup as Cooper Rush once was. By default, Mariota should clear as the best backup quarterback in the NFC East, and while the Commanders hope they'll never have to see him, it's an easy bet to assume it's better to have the top backup in the division than being in need of one. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Commanders news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Blockbuster trade proposal brings Commanders $90 million All-Pro WRI if the Washington Commanders truly want to shut the door on their future past the next 2 years, athlete, and go all in on being a Super Bowl contender in 2025, then there's a trade proposal out there they should consider. Bleacher Report's Mo Moton has proposed a deal that would land the Commanders a third NFL All-Pro wide receiver alongside Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel by trading for Miami Dolphins superstar Tyreek Hill. In Moton's proposed deal, the Dolphins receive the Commanders' 2025 second-round pick and 2025 sixth-round pick in exchange for Hill and the Dolphins' 2025 seventh-round pick. Terry McLaurin and Hill can be a nightmare tandem for opposing defenders, Moton wrote. Both can attack all 3 levels of the field, though the latter provides unmatched speed on the perimeter. With Hill in the fold, Daniels could let it rip a lot more downfield for backbreaking plays that put opponents away in close matchups. In addition to flipping the NFL on its head, the trade would also create the single greatest "who's beating them" meme in pro sports history, with Samuel, McLaurin, and Hill catching passes from Pro Bowl quarterback Jayden Daniels. Making a deal like that for Hill might be considered malpractice in some circles, with approximately $26 million left in cap space. For 2025, the Commanders have much more pressing needs at edge rusher and cornerback. Hill subject of rampant trade rumors thanks to his own doing. Hill has been a subject of trade rumors since the Dolphins capped the 2024 season with a 32-20 loss to the lowly New York Jets in Week 18, though that's because Hill, arguably the NFL's most dynamic wide receiver over the last decade, began pouring gasoline on the fire from the moment he started talking after the game. "I'm out. It was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I gotta do what's best for my career because I'm too much of a competitor to be just out there," Hill told reporters. Hill has been one of the NFL's most electric players since the Kansas City Chiefs drafted him in the 5th round, number 165 overall, out of NCAA Division II West Alabama in the 2016 NFL Draft. Hill began his career by making 8 consecutive Pro Bowl appearances and as a 6-time NFL All-Pro, culminating in the 2023 season when he led the NFL with 1,199 receiving yards and 13 receiving touchdowns on 119 receptions and came up just short of the NFL's receiving triple crown. He's also been a winner. Hill was one of the heroes of the Chiefs' run to the Super Bowl following the 2019 season, and 2024 was not only the first season he missed the Pro Bowl, but also the first season he played on a team that missed the postseason. Hill's 2024 was, by all accounts, the worst season of his pro career. He not only saw his streak of 4 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards come to an end, he saw his production almost cut in half with 81 receptions for 959 yards and 6 touchdowns in 17 games. Hill's contract was reworked into a 3-year, $90 million contract extension before the 2024 season, and he's due 27. $6 million in 2024, and he has approximately 119, $9 million in career earnings headed into the 2025 campaign. Commanders signed former rugby player T.J. Maguranyanga. The Washington Commanders on Thursday signed T.J. Maguranyanga, a former rugby player who is part of the NFL's International Player Pathway program. Maguranyanga, 22, is listed as a defensive end. The Zimbabwe native played in the French Top 14 Rugby League before heading to the football development camps at the IMG Academy in Florida in December. He will not count against the Commanders' 90-man off-season roster. Per NFL guidelines, teams are allowed an additional spot in training camp and on the practice squad for designated players with international backgrounds. Marshawn Lattimore takes drastic action to rekindle old magic, with Commanders. Marshawn Lattimore will be sporting a new look next season. Marshawn Lattimore was acquired by the Washington Commanders ahead of the 2024 trade deadline, with high hopes that he could be the type of lockdown cornerback to turn around the team's struggling defensive backfield. Suffice it to say, the early results were mixed. Lattimore only played in 5 games for the Commanders, 2 in the regular season and 3 in the playoffs, as a lingering hamstring injury kept him otherwise sidelined. The Pro Bowler was never 100% healthy when he did suit up, which brought plenty of complications. A full offseason to rest up and fully acclimate himself to Washington should help him get back to his high-caliber performance levels. Perhaps symbolically, he'll have a new jersey number too. Commanders cornerback Marshawn Lattimore is changing his number for the 2025 season. The number 2 became available due to wide receiver Dyami Brown's departure from the Commanders to the Jacksonville Jaguars in free agency. Lattimore has taken it. The longtime New Orleans Saints star will join Mike Sainristil number 0 in giving the Commanders a pair of starting cornerbacks, both wearing single-digit numbers. It may take some time to get used to seeing Lattimore in any number that isn't number 23. He wore it throughout his entire 8-year tenure with the Saints, as well as during his 5 games with Washington last season. But as he seeks a fresh start for his first full Commanders campaign, it feels like the right time to make the change. This also happens to be his old college number from his Ohio State days. Perhaps this shift can rekindle his magic, providing Lattimore gets a better run of luck on the health front. Commanders fans will be hoping that's the case. Lattimore won't be the only Commanders player switching it up either. Luke McCaffrey is subtracting a digit from his number 12 uniform last year to number 11 in 2025, which he assumes after Jeremy Chin left Washington for the Las Vegas Raiders. The 2024 third-round pick and brother of San Francisco 49ers star running back Christian caught 18 passes for 168 receiving yards as a rookie, while also being featured as a kick returner. There is potential for McCaffrey to grow into a much larger role in Washington for this season and beyond, especially with having a veteran in Deebo Samuel Sr. around, who can serve as his mentor given their similar skill sets. He will have a prime opportunity to emerge as the Commanders' number 3 wideout behind Terry McLaurin and the recently acquired All-Pro. In both players' cases, there's a new story to be written with their new numbers. When all is said and done, no one in Washington will remember Lattimore wearing number 23 for the Commanders, or McCaffrey wearing number 12. They're both out to make a statement in 2025, and this subtle change proves it. And now, Commanders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know. This, but your opinion matters a lot for Commanders. I'll be back any moment with more Commanders news. We want Dallas.